Alrighty, so we are on the Rock system again in this Clash of the Titans Round 1 tournament. Neon is going to be the player in blue over here, starting with a vehicle factory. And Wandable is going to be the black player, starting over here with a bot factory.
Both players now just kind of setting themselves up, so I mean, this is going to be interesting. So we have Wandable going for the bot into vehicle, where we have Neon going vehicle into air. So again, it looks like a clean build. I'm just kind of very hesitant right now because everything looks smooth so far. Everything just kind of playing out as you would expect to see with the generic kind of openings. You kind of open up the batch and then throw it in the oven, and you got a nice clean opening so far. So scout car moving around, just trying to find anything that might be kind of bizarro to see. And we've got...
I was going to say, Wandable does not have an air factory queued at all. He's got the bot factory, he's got his one vehicle factory down, he's got a vehicle factory, 2 more bot factories queued. No air factory.
This could come out to bite him in the bum. I mean, oh, no, there it is. There it is.
There it is. Oh, he changed his build. After I say something, he completely redoes his build order.
He knows that in the future, the mighty Sorian will cast him.
He just wanted to prove me wrong.
Now, I was about to critique that there is a fabricator that's just kind of sitting around doing nothing, but it's actually building a little bit of energy here out of Wandable. So, switching over to Neon side, we do see a bit of an eco crash here, which is actually kind of surprising, especially in the initial stages of a game. As you had mentioned earlier, Sorian, you know, that first couple, like 5-6 minutes of a match will really kind of determine how the rest of the game will play out, as sinking a little bit in the economy for the first, 20-30 seconds. That can be 20-30 seconds that just slowly chain react into minutes of just economy that you won't be able to have or be able to use.
Yeah, that could really come to hurt him later in the game, having that eco crash and Wandable crashing as well. So I guess it's even on both sides. So they both messed up their economy. It's interesting though that Neon has these vehicle factories kind of out and towards the front of his base on this side, closer to his 4 metal spot. Natural expansion, if you want to call it that.
Well, that's Quitch mentioned. I mean, having those 4 metal, that 4 metal point, just kind of just like Forge, having that as kind of like the seal to your base, making sure that doesn't break, so the flood of your opponent can get in. It's gonna be really important to hold off. Now, personally, I kind of like his. Oh, hang on, he decided to cancel it, so he must have heard you, because I was gonna. Oh, it's now bots
no,
instead
now it's
of vehicles.
Back.
And,
it's
it's even bigger.
Now vehicles, yeah.
Personally, I really like this. Faster travel times. It's now your units just don't have to travel and go around that giant, fissure that is showing that sweet lava texture. But really, I'm not too sure about this triple air opening here out of Neon. I mean, that's going to give him a really strong air advantage, but if Wandable realizes that it is a very strong air advantage, he will probably just switch straight into vehicles, get plenty of anti-air out, and then the air army just doesn't have that same strength it did before. Now, we do see a bit of trade going on here. 4 tanks going to start scrapping with a couple docks here, and it's just not going to be any sort of pressure at all, as these tanks will quickly clean these up. This bomber kind of indecisive on whether or not he wanted to join the fun, but it looks like he will not get any of those kills, so no medal for him. But this is interesting. If we look over at Wandable's base, Neon has 2 scouting. He's got a scouting car on the top, and then a Phoenix or a Firefly, which just got murdered by some docks below. So really good scouting awareness here out of Neon.
Yeah, Neon rather. Neon seems to be doing a very good job of expanding out, getting these metal extractors, and seems to be doing it at a faster pace than Wandable is able to for some reason.
Alright, well, it looks like we do have a couple docks trying to move out here. These hummingbirds and bumblebees will find these docks. Hopefully, Neon decides to move these. Okay, the bomber... okay, never mind. He saw it. I was gonna say, you want to talk about a wombo combo.
Man, if they would have stayed in that line, that would have been horrible for Wandable.
There was going to be a discount on Doc's life, and it was going to be by that bomber, and he was going to have a heyday on that, and that bomber would have definitely made up for that just indecision on that first match, or that first confrontation. But the Docs do kind of stave off death for a little bit longer as they start running blindly at another turret and a tank here. So this tank or this little outcrop, I guess, of economy here for Neon. Though he is floating, it's always going to be important to have, and it looks like this bomber is going to try and make another pass here. The docks, with their somewhat anti-air, I mean, they do have it, but it's definitely not as strong as the spinners that you would normally have with the tank army. It will get cleaned up slowly, as the bomber micro here from Neon will be good enough, but it looks like Wandable is just kind of attack area of these docks here in this, I don't know, you want to call it like a crater checkered board, tic-tac-toe looking place for Neon's just kind of slowly getting harassed at just every which way.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactic. Just, get a bunch of docks, spread them out, start taking down metal extractors all over the place, and Neon can't send units to defend just one because he's getting like 4 or 5 of them attacked at the same time.
Now this is interesting here. Obviously we can't ping just because of the replay, but we do see on the at the bottom of the giant checkered economy area, on top of that platform, and just kind of along the way, Wandable has actually been kind of quietly expanding and efficiently staying at 100% instead of floating as frequently as Neon. So besides the fact that he is at a higher economy rate, he's also not floating at all, so all of that metal being spent very quickly. Neon now floating on both metal and energy, just trying to get some sort of production out. And as I had mentioned earlier with the previous match, the travel time for commanders is actually really important. We see that Neon's commander is walking out to build all of this. That means he had to build the energy before he built the factory so he could support it. So that means that was more time that those factories weren't pumping units. So he does have, quote-unquote, a strong economy, but the fact that his economy has been sitting in his bank means he isn't able to use it at all, and now that bank is starting to surplus, and it has been surplusing now for about 4 minutes.
Yeah, Wandable taking the economy lead, that's pretty impressive. Even though he's getting, harassed in his base, looks like Neon's taking down some of these metal extractors. He's going to get 2. I don't think he's going to get that third one in Wandable's base. No,
nope. The defense is
nope.
good.
There's a whole lot of bots there.
But the dogs. Oh, never mind. That one dox had a dream and a gun, and he was going to do it. He tried, but he just couldn't.
He tried really hard, but he couldn't manage to do it. No, Wandable just, the slow and steady expansion seems to be winning the race here.
Again, it's just been, I think Wandable is just taking a play, and the tier 2, well, I guess he's going to take what Kibbles did and refine it, because Kibbles, I mean, it's almost like I'm watching another Kibbles match here. It's been very clean and relaxed. He seems to be playing calmly and smoothly, where it looks like Neon's just trying to get some stuff out here. This air is just kind of, it's still stuck on patrolling this one metal extractor, which it's not going to do anything. And this is exactly what I was talking about here. Wandable now has plenty of anti-air or spinners with his tanks, and the air from Neon's never going to be able to do anything. There's only like 1 or 2 bombers, and they cannot kill off 2 or 3 spinners inside a tank army. There's just not enough damage for them to do anything. And we do see Neon now moving out with a kind of a sizable Dox army towards the front of Wandable's base, but at the same time, Wandable's doing the exact same to Neon in Neon's base, and these Dogs will probably have a bit of a better engagement because the commander's on the other side of the bay, on the other side of the map, excuse me.
Yeah, and it's also more docks.
Yeah, and there's more docks.
It's a much bigger docks army. Oh, Neon throwing down some landmines here, anticipating the docks rush, apparently. Throwing down some mines to meet these docks, but I don't think the docks are actually going to run that direction. They're in the wrong position.
Oh, that's the combat fiber is going to try and get out of there. That poor puppy is just going to try and get out of dodge, but Doc's trading with Docs here, and goodness gracious, Wandable is just going to clean up all of these Docs, and now he can probably break straight into some of these. Oh. No, I was going to say, he's started to head towards
he's getting
those
really
mines.
Close to those mines. Oh,
he's dancing. Oh no, the bombs.
Oh, those mines hurt. And suddenly the Doc's army is gone.
And just like that, well, I mean, one factory, I would say it's still worth. I mean, he did a really good trade at killing off all of those units. The anti-air from Wandable is just kind of going to, oh, nope, looks like he wants to fight. The anti-air is going to come in and try and avenge some of these Dogs that he did lose. But I'm not, oh, wait, no, he's taking a really good fight. He's just, he's skirting around the army of Neon, and it gets absolutely destroyed here. So Wandable taking a fantastic engagement with that.
Yeah, there goes Neon's air army. Neon's air army is down to 6 fighters, and that's it.
I mean, that was a fantastic little engagement there. I mean, I think what Wandable did was he knew that they were patrolling around, so he just kind of skirted outside the patrol fight, so he had 6 or 7 hummingbirds fighting only 2 or 3 from Neon. And I mean, as you guys just saw, that engagement was absolutely flawless from Wandable, saving most of his air army, where Neon's just got absolutely destroyed. And right now, Neon's in a bit of a pickle now. There is that kind of outcrop of Wandable's units kind of still by those, three vehicle factories and four metal extractors, but this one turret's going to try, but flame tanks just really don't give a crap about some turrets, and it's going to get awkward because the conga line of flame tanks, they're on their way, and the Cha-Cha slide is not going to save him.
No, absolutely not. They're definitely going to take some things with them before they die. This is going to hurt a lot. Oh, and the last turret protecting these three factories goes down. There's nothing
Some
else to
tanks
stop
are
him from taking all these factories.
Oh, he does kill off the flame tank, so that's a good start. The flame tank is now dead, but there's a lot of ants or bellows, because apparently that's a thing, are going to start cleaning up a lot of these factories if he isn't able to respond to this. And I'm kind of concerned he's going to do this area patrol thing again. And guess what? Here comes that air army of Wandable, and Wandable doesn't really give a crap about what you and your hummingbirds think, because he's going to come in, right click right over this, and just destroy. Oh my God, the vicious!
Just swallowed
And there goes your air army. Now we do have on the back of this, Wandable's tier 2 is up, and it looks like he has gotten a little bit of energy up. As Quitch had mentioned before with Kibbles, the tier 2 and its desire for that tier 2 energy is absolutely just vicious. I mean, you need to I think the first thing that you need to build besides tier 2 metal, that actually kind of just takes a step down. You need energy. Tier 2 energy is just incredibly powerful, and it's definitely very needed. As we see here, Wandable floating now, kind of swapping places with Neon, but really, I would say that I think Wandable's okay to float a little bit here once in a while, unlike Neon, who really can't be floating at all. He's got donks now raiding the same place that they attacked before, and this time, instead of trying to hug the landmines, going straight for the throat of the base.
Oh, landmines killing Infernos. That's terrible.
Oh,
it's so sad to see.
Looks like one does survive.
He knew the landmines were there from the last engagement. He could have easily sent a scout along with those tanks just to, destroy the landmines, avoid them, whatever he decided to do there.
Well, while this is going on, that northern army getting cleaned up, the southern side of, hang on. Yeah, the more left, east, western side, whatever. There's some units coming in. They're going to start trading with tanks, and really, Neon's units are just everywhere. He's trying to protect both sides, but really he just can't. He's got his tier 2 almost up, but it's just not going to do anything.
Yeah, it's not. This tier 2 is just, it's too little, too late. Way too late.
All right. Hang on. Looks like we do have another docks movement here, trying to work their way towards the landmines. They are going to avoid them this time, so he's going to stave off death again. But Neon definitely starting to set himself up here. And it looks like we are getting, hang on. Yep, it sounds like we are getting word here from the giant space overlords known as Exodus that we will be going into the legendary double speed to make sure that this game finishes anytime this year.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? I'm really interested to see how this game finishes out. I really am.
Well, we do have the docks. I mean, it's kind of interesting looking at the time that we have versus how the bases are looking. I think Neon's just going to survive. He's going to be treading water for probably a few more minutes here, and we'll see what happens. But I'm kind of concerned here because I think Neon's just going to be treading water for just a few more minutes and then just kind of death to the undeserving as Neon just trying to get himself set up now. We do have a really big invasion army here from Wandable. This is just going to kind of crash in, and really the commander very exposed here, so I'm really curious to see how he's going to try and stave off this massive army.
Oh yeah, and Wandable's got a docks army going after the tier 2 factory of Neon.
So he's going to try, and actually I think these units are kind of going to do a bit of a clutch here where one side goes right, the other side goes left, and well, actually no, both sides go right. That makes sense, yeah. And they're going to just kind of moving in here now. Looks like the units from Wandable are going to sit. Okay, no, they are moving now. The skitters are going to just kind of get cleaned up as taking that volley fire. They do see that there are no landmines here, but Neon's commander, he just needs to go towards the commander just quickly, my child, and you will kill everything. But it looks like he's going to go for the factory and the infrastructures, which honestly is probably the better choice anyways, as he will destroy everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Neon was able to protect his tier 2 factory, so it's still alive and running. building units that are probably not going to see much use this game. Neon does have a group of units heading for Wandable's base, but Wandable has quite a few units there to defend. I don't expect that push to really go very far.
At the same time, though, it's not gonna. Yeah, it almost looks like it's gonna be a base trade, but the problem is Wandable is ready for it, and he's got a stronger economy, so it's gonna work, but not really.
Oh, Wandable's unit's heading down towards the commander, so he might actually get this commander scouted out, which would hopefully make his next attack a little more effective if he knows where the commander is and can go straight for him.
Well, we do have Docs now raiding in here at the back of Wandable's base, and we will try and... oh goodness, it gets destroyed. The bombers... Wandable now deciding that he wants to take the air to himself, and he just destroyed everything that Neon was trying to get done here. And he's gonna try moving again, but now shellers are starting to pelter the rest of these bolos here, trying to end this game as quickly as possible.
Yep. Wandable just needs to start building up another army and go for the final push. That's where he is at this point. Neon just so far on the back foot, it's kind of ridiculous.
At the same time, though, at this kind of cross or X kind of little platform that we've got going on here, we have a very big army from Wandable just trying to set himself up probably for another big push at this tier 2, and I'm kind of concerned because the first thing that I notice is it's all Docs or Grenadiers, Sparks, and just kind of a whole mess of bot units. And bots, they're really good at raiding, but not really good against tanks. And then on top of that, they're also leveler tanks, which are even more stronger than regular tanks. So I'm a little concerned here for that invade, because it's kind of going up against... it's like David and Goliath, but this time David's only got a stick and Goliath's got a shotgun. So we'll see what he can do with that, but I don't think much is going to get done there.
Oh man, that is a nice air force by Wandable, just moving around the map.
Definitely.
He definitely has the air dominance on this map completely.
Well, it looks like Neon has regained some of his composure. He is floating a little bit, but definitely trying to just rebuild himself. I think the thing is he has this tier 2, right? So if he gets a couple fabricators out and just starts rebuilding his tier 1 with the tier 2, I think he's going to be okay. I mean, just the build speed for it usually is quite substantial, and that will definitely drop down his float a little bit more, so he can actually have the production that he needs to stop this massive Wandable army just from going everywhere. And oh my god, it looks like Wandable has decided that he's just going to do kind of a salty earth here on Neon's economy in the polka dots here on the back of this map, and these Grenadiers, they're just going across and killing anything they can see.
Yeah, all these Grenadiers, Sparks, just doing massive damage to Neon's economy. Very effective by Wandable.
Ironically enough, all he's done is probably just kind of deflated a little bit of that float. So, I mean, it was a great idea. It's just kind of like you did something, sure, but he's still floating, so it hurt somewhat, kind of.
It does, but it also pushes Neon, further into his main base and less around the map. If nothing else, it removes the ability of Neon being able to see things out on that side of the map just because he has metal extractors there.
Very much so. Looks like another, well, I don't want to call it the final push here, because another army is starting to make itself up here, and there are some shellers and levelers. Actually, a storm. Hello there. You're something that I haven't seen in a while in the 1v1 ranked matches here. We actually have a storm out here to kind of protect from that massive air army that Wandable has, so definitely a great unit. And, I mean, Sorian, you're going to have to explain to me, because, I mean, it shoots this little kind of, like, area of effect thing on top of itself, which just shreds tier 1, but, I mean, is it worth?
You know what? In this case, it may actually be worth. Wandable has a very large air army. He's definitely got the air advantage. So yeah, getting a few of those little flak tanks in could definitely be worth it. With the use that he put it to here, not so worth it, because there were no air units where he was going. But yeah, I mean, for just moving an army across, having some of those flak cannons when your opponent is so far ahead of you in air, it's probably a good idea.
Oh goodness gracious, we
Ooh.
got a Vanguard making its way towards a commander here, and if there's one thing that I've learned about Vanguards is you do not want to get near them, especially when you're on the other side of its gun. This thing's going to start working its way towards the walls that Neon's commander has tried to build up here, and Vanguards and anything
Like
don't
that wall
exist.
wasn't even there. Like that wall was not even there. Oh
Vanguard
man, just
sneezes
getting
and blows up a
pelted with
planet.
leveler shots.
Goodness gracious. And there goes the commander. He does explode, and Neon is annihilated by Wandable. So congratulations to Wandable for making a very well-played match here.
Absolutely. Very entertaining.